at the preview from Saturday's online Twitch preview. Now I did a, I guess, kind of semi-live watch-along reaction. I didn't stream it live because I've been having some issues in the past, which hopefully I'll be able to fix in the future, as I've just gotten a few different things finally, equipment-wise, that should make it easier for me to try to navigate that whole thing. But anyway, so instead I just did a live, kind of like record while, or I recorded while it was live, so I could get my actual initial reaction to the stuff posted or revealed or whatever. But then also partly through that, I was interrupted by my youngest, and so my attention was definitely distracted halfway through, and then also I think kind of distracts from the video. But I kind of like, it wasn't a huge reveal Saturday for sure, and I've seen a few people comment elsewhere that them doing this many like Saturday preview shows has really kind of watered them down, and they don't feel like they hold as much weight as they once did, and this is only like their fifth one. So obviously when the whole lockdown kind of started everywhere, there was this big build-up, and they did it like a 3-part thing, to where they were really, building things up, and then they had like a bunch of big reveals and things. But then, I guess, I don't even know, maybe it's been more than 5. I can't even remember myself. I'd have to go back and look. But people just feel like they're not getting as much bang for their buck with it. And while I guess that's kind of true, because essentially they're just taking, because normally they would do like a lot of these previews at events like Warhammer World or Warhammer Fest or Adepticon, LVO, and Nova, and those are just a few that I can think of. But normally they would do these, or some of these then, but sometimes I feel like sometimes it would just be like a preview article on the weekend, and they've done that a few Saturdays in between, but now they've really gotten into this Saturday kind of video preview thing, which I like a lot. Watered down or not, even if it's not a huge big reveal, I like it just from the aspect of entertainment, I guess. With things going on nowadays, it's let me turn that down. The entertainment is kind of, I don't know, harder to find, I guess, in a way, and especially depending upon where you are, how bad the lockdown is. I was actually discussing and mentioned in a Facebook group that I'm in, a local one with like the local war gamers and stuff, that just based on the current lockdown and our state and where you can and can't go, and with essentially no end on that in sight as of right now, and then with my current work schedule and stuff, like, there's a very strong potential that I'm not going to be able to play for like a year or more, which is crazy to think about. Essentially, like, I'm going to miss out on a huge chunk, if not most of Ninth. And one of the things that kind of sucks about that is they previewed these new Crusade campaign books, which I really like the idea of, because I have my homebrew chapter, and what a great way to really build their history, because the whole idea is they were an Ultima Founding chapter, so they're Primaris only, Ultima Founding, and I can build their story some more, which I kind of already did before with them being like, the Vigilus veterans and kind of all that kind of stuff. But now this is a way to really start crafting it based on the games you play. And, I know people say you can do like, oh, well, you can do Homehammer and stuff, like, but I don't really have that, I don't know, choice or opportunity right now. So, yeah, so I'm kind of stuck in a spot where I'm going to miss a large portion of it. And so to me, like, seeing those campaign books and stuff come out, and like even buying the rule book and stuff, I mean, I got the Indominus box set, which is, comes with the rules and things, and then the new codex will come out, and I'm sure I'll grab it, but I'm not going to be able to utilize any of that stuff to the point where there could very well even be a new Space Marine codex before, because we can say there'd be about 3 years before 10th comes out at least, maybe a little bit longer. I would hope that they maybe pushed it a little bit longer, But if not, you know, we're looking at about 3 years of ninth, so I'm essentially going to be missing out on about a year and a half. So I only have maybe a year and a half to actually play ninth. And who knows what supplements and codexes are going to look like and what will be out by then. To the point though, like each edition, Space Marines usually have been getting, I would say about at least, it seems like about 2 codexes they get per edition since 6. I think 6 is when that kind of started. I'm trying to think, because 6th to 7th, like there wasn't, like a lot of people just called 7th was kind of like 6.5 because there really wasn't a huge difference. They just, I'm trying to remember what they did exactly, that they didn't even really, they didn't even release a new box set. They just repackaged the Dark Imperium set. So it was really a 6.5. It wasn't really 7, but called it 7th, moved on, and then we had the big change up with 8th, and now we're here in 9th. But anyway, yeah, so I was planning on not making this a super long video. I've already kind of gotten to a long rant, but I'm just going to go over the community article and kind of hit the wave tops and give a quick, I guess, overview of my thoughts on it. Not a whole lot in here that I'm super interested in because I mainly focus on 40K, although I do like to see a lot of the other stuff. I have a war cry. Okay, back again. So I don't know if you heard the yelling. I definitely did. My son was freaking out because this little one, his little sister, was getting in his room when he was trying to play with his clone trooper toys. So, and she was the culprit that kind of interrupted last time, but I don't know. She said, "You're going to be quiet this time?" So, if not, I'll have to probably end up re-recording, which is fine. But, yeah, so I wasn't planning on making a super long video. I just wanted to kind of like go over everything, and like I said, mainly 40K is where I stick my realm. I've kind of gone into other stuff, and then I have to usually pull myself back because I get, you know, I'm already drowning in the gray plastic. But I did build a Warcry Warband of Sylvaneth as part of those kind of like hobby achievement challenges that Games Workshop put out when the pandemic lockdown, first started. And I had a Sylvaneth army when they had first came out, when Age of Sigmar was like redoing all the different armies, and they came out with Sylvaneth. And I thought that was awesome, great, so I got them, made a huge army and everything, and then, again, everything kind of fell behind, so I basically sold them and all that kind of stuff. So now I found there's a way to kind of remake them, because I also really would love to make the, I can't ever say their name, the Overlords, the Dwarves. I would love to make either a Warcry or an Underworld's team of them. And then, as we'll see here, the Seraphim, or back in the day, the Lizardmen. I was always very interested in the way those guys looked. And we'll see here that there's something coming out, at least for, I think, Underworlds for them. So, yeah, I don't know where we'll go, but I also like looking at the other stuff, too, just to see if there's any cool bits and things to use. But, alright, so in the preview, still, you can watch the rerun up on Twitch. So, Horus Heresy, this was a big one. This one was really cool. There's a video here on the article if you want to watch it. Just kind of showcases the models and stuff. But finally, the line will be coming out soon. Okay. So, I'm probably going to pick up the line because technically Dark Angels was my first army. And this was before the Dark Imperium. So I actually started building and painting, and I use that kind of, like, I got a few models and things at the end of 5th edition, but I didn't play until 6th edition. And that's when then they also came out with the Dark Angel starter. But, okay, Daddy's gotta do his thing. So, I started with Dark Angels because I was kind of torn between Salamanders and Dark Angels because green's my favorite color. But I ended up going with Dark Angels first because they they had that darker green, which to me it just seemed like it made more tactical sense. And then also their winged sword was the same symbol that I used on Halo 2, the Valkyrie symbol that they have. So I thought that was kind of cool how they went together. So I ended up with I ended up going with Dark Angels. I picked up a Space Marine Captain or Commander, I can't remember, it was like the multi-part kit back in the day, drop pod and some scouts, and a veteran squad with robes, because that was the other kind of cool thing about Dark Angels, they all had robes. So that's what I picked up first, painted them, and then they kind of just sat on a shelf for a while. And then Dark Vengeance came out, 6th edition was out, and then I finally started trying to reach out and figure out how to get into some games and learn how to play. So, but then shortly after, I kind of got into the lore more, and while I like the lore kind of the Dark Angels, there's some good stuff there. I kept going back to the Salamanders because they're the other kind of green army, plus they have a dragon. I mean, it looks cool, right? So I started looking more into it, and then that's when I started finding out that I really like the Salamanders lore way more than the Dark Angels. Salamanders ended up becoming my main army, huge army I had. I built it for both Horse Heresy and, because Horse Heresy had just kind of started gaining traction. So I built a huge Salamanders army that could be played for both 30 and 40k. And then again, I ended up kind of selling, and that was when I decided when I was going to go with the homebrew chapter. This was about the time Primaris started to come out and it was going to be a thing. I decided, you know, I don't want to add Primaris to my Salamanders. I felt like that was too much of a betrayal, so I ended up I want to start from scratch for the Primaris. But anyway, again, I'm getting on tangents. So I have Vulcan. I still haven't painted him. He's actually on my to-do shelf over here, along with a bunch of Alpha Legion models, because Alpha Legion are got a nice soft spot for me. But I probably will pick up the Lion as well. So I'll have the Lion, the Vulcan, and Alfarius for my Primarchs, just kind of special projects. I'm going to take a ton of time on painting these guys just because they're essentially just going to be display and centerpiece models that I want to look just amazing. So I'm going to take a lot of time on these. I don't know if I can reach this level. I'll reach a version of something like that in my own style, I guess. Interesting enough, they have these Night Lords on here. I had actually done kind of a small conversion. He's kind of tucked back there. I'd grab him otherwise with my Vulcan, because he had those fallen Marines in front of him. And you see in the artwork, they usually paint them up as fallen Salamanders, which the pose kind of almost looks like he had just got done, like, you know, smashing the Marines in front of him down with a hammer. So I actually just got a Night Lord's shoulder pad and swapped it out, so it looked like he just smacked down a Night Lord's because of the whole drop set massacre. I thought it was kind of important to have a Night Lord on there. So really awesome. Probably gonna have to pick this up. Then they showed the new Night Lord Terminators, which are pretty crazy, scary, and cool looking. I really like this guy's sword right here. This guy has a really cool sword. But overall, the aesthetic in general, they're pretty creepy looking dudes. And then the 9th book. Now, they used to crank these out, it seemed, pretty quickly. At least I thought they were. I guess that was probably when I was more involved in 30K. It just seemed like every time I shelled out some money, they had another one of these out. But it's been a while. It has definitely been a while since we've seen a new Horus Heresy book come out. Necromunda. So we have some House of Iron. These guys are from the Orlok gang. I mean, really not much to say there. I don't really Necromunda much. I use Van Sar models for a Kill Team Elysian Drop Troop conversion to make them kind of look like ODST. I got some Puppets of War heads, Van Sar bodies, and made them look like kind of like ODST. The thing about this, though, is they actually have, and they have actually pictures down here. These are the ones I want to see. Like right here. So they have, yeah. So they have these kind of jump pack grab shoot things. So this right here, I'm not sure what the sprue will look like, but and this was mentioned, I mentioned it during the live stream, and then someone else also mentioned it in the live stream chat, Elysian drop troop conversions. So you can maybe use these jump pack things here as grab shoot conversions for some Elysian drop troops, which would be pretty cool. The overall look of the model, I mean, you might be able to maybe swap the arms with something else. It looks more Imperial Guard kind of look to it. Because you could probably keep these legs in this torso and stuff, and then you could do like a head swap and an arm swap. And it would probably look more like an actual Elysian drop troop. So, and then here you got this guy too. I mean, there's, again, with this jacket and stuff, but you can kind of play that up to whatever. So, sorry, I know this is getting, this video is getting hijacked again. And then they have these cool dogs. What is that? Is it a puppy?
Daddy, Papi. Me, puppy.
Do we need to get a puppy like that?
Yes.
Yeah. We need a good guard dog like that. Now these are cool. I just think they're awesome looking. And you can use them as whatever. I also thought it would be cool if, like, with the different kind of like animals and creatures they've been coming out with in Necromunda, to make kind of like environmental animal rules.
Mommy, give me my owl.
Okay.
Mommy, give me my owl.
So here we have the new thing for 40K. This is one of the models that we still... This is one of the models we still hadn't seen yet. And this is the Hexmark Destroyer. Apparently when you go from... I can't remember what they're called now. Oh, Death Marks. When you go from Death Mark, they become this, I guess. I just think it's awesome with all the different guns. Just imagine it just shooting all crazy and stuff. And I don't know why, like, as I look at this more and more, I love the aesthetic of these new guys, but it also kind of has a kind of Men in Black almost kind of feel to me for some reason now as I look at it more. Here's where we're talking more about the Crusade books, which is one of those things I'm worried I'm going to miss most of this. And then there was also another book. Where do they talk about it? Do they show it? They don't... Okay, yes, down below. And then they have a new terrain box coming out, which has this new piece. You have to go to mommy if you're going to be loud. You're going to be quiet.
Mommy, go inside.
Okay. So there's a few new terrain pieces here, mainly this. I think this is in one of the new starter, I can't remember, like they have the recruit, elite, and commander, or elite. I don't remember. But this is in one of those. I don't know if this is, and then I know these new kind of pipes are in there as well, in one of those new sets. But or you can just get this whole box of just the terrain. So here's that. And then this is this chapter approved mission pack, tactical deployment. So this sounds like these are kind of more based on competitive play and putting those forward. Some actual missions and stuff for people to use at their events. So I haven't even really cracked open my new chapter approved I've got to see what's in there. I know there's some, but I guess this just gives you kind of like, it's almost like seasons. They're putting out these seasons of mission packs for people to use in their in their stuff. So, and it has 18 in there, so plenty of missions to use to change things up. So Warcry, we finally are going to see, there's a new box set coming out. There's going to have a bunch of terrain and 2 factions in it. And you get to see, like, these were previewed before, but they're all finally coming out. I don't know if they have this one right here. This one is the one that I always thought would look like a really cool, I want to say it's called a Firebrand Priest for the Salamanders. That would be a really cool conversion because they're like essentially like these blacksmith, ironsmiths in the Salamanders tribes where they come from on their planet, and they're, like I said, exalted. They brand the warriors with each of their deeds, which is a cool thing Salamanders do, is they get branded or earn scars essentially for the deeds that they do. They're great deeds. And that's kind of the job of the Firebrand Priest. So I always thought this would be kind of a cool conversion. Plus, he's got the aesthetic already. Jazzy. Then we have, here's the board. It looks very Diablo to me, which I think is kind of cool. And then here is it, like they added like another level to it. And okay, sorry. I don't know. May have another distraction later, but we'll get back into this. So, very cool Diablo-esque look to me. Like I said, they kind of like, even here, this is pretty cool looking here. This is definitely like own terrain and build. This isn't just the mat and some terrain on it. And then you flip it over, and then there's more terrain in here, and you can use this side. So really cool if you're in a Warcry. Like I said, I have a Sylvaneth Warcry band now. I haven't played Warcry yet, though, because that all started after the lockdown and the challenge, and so I decided to do that. Underworld, they got a new season of Underworld is coming, the Dire Chasm. So this is going to have High Elves and some Slaaneshi people in it from the box art, and then they also have new Seraphim coming out for that. So, I don't know, I might look into maybe picking this up, because again, like I said, just like Sylvaneth and the Overlords, Seraphim is the other faction in Age of Sigmar that I've always really liked the look of, and just I think would be fun to paint with the color palette that you can use there. Definitely very bright, vibrant, tropical looking colors. So yeah, I think that would be cool. And then they have this, I guess, a new thing for Beastgrave. Before it's done, they have a new arena thing, just expanding on some rules. And then we got Age of Sigmar. So they say prepare for Shadow and Pain. So this is a new box set coming out that again is featuring Slaanesh, but then the Daughters of Cain are in there as well. And there, I guess these are two new models here in the center, which, there you go, that's the Lord of Pain, I believe, or Champion of Pain or something. I don't see the name. Where is that? Yeah, Lord of Pain. Okay. So yeah, you got the Lord of Pain. Looks pretty metal. It looks like you could just, yeah, be in a metal band. And then you have, leading the Daughters of Cain is the Melusaya Iron Scale. So yeah. And then we got Broken Realms. Is the, I guess, the vast ongoing story of Age of Sigmar. So some cool artwork here. You got some Deepkin here. It looks like some Daughters of Cain battling. Now this, I guess, is a prison that the elves have. That I guess they had Slaanesh or some whatever entrapped in one of these obelisk things on this prison, and obviously something's happened. It's escaped. So that must be why Slaanesh is coming out into the world more. So we got, what, Deepkin and some Dark Elves looking things here. I'm not quite sure, but it looks pretty cool. And then, of course, a new, this is a battle tome, I believe, right? Or no? To do Bloodshed and Battle. Oh, it's just a narrative book. So this is just not a battle tome, this is a book, it looks like. Yeah, the new narrative kicks off in Broken Realms, Morathi. So, All right, that's everything. Like I said, not a whole lot of like crazy, shocking things. I would say the MVP for this one for me is there's no more Space Marine stuff being previewed. um, Being a Space Marine player, I love seeing new stuff, and at the same time, it's always the bane of my wallet and time and painting and all that.
Daddy, my passing stuff.
And so, happy to not see it. I do know that at least from that one old kind of blurry potato photo that we've seen, and the table of contents that people have been trying to decode, there's at least that one kind of land speeder strike storm. I don't remember what it was called, but there's one vehicle at least that we still haven't seen, which excuse me, as soon as we get closer to the release of the Space Marine Codex, it'll be shown. So the Space Marine Codex is supposed to be up sometime in September. My guess would be 18 September, I think. I don't remember if they actually said the date, but my guess would be 18 September pre-order, or yeah, that Saturday maybe, so the 19th. Pre-orders go up, releasing on the 26th of September, and that's probably when we'll see either pre-orders for that thing, or we'll get previews sometime in the next couple weeks, and we'll be able to pre-order all of that stuff with the Codex. But I kind of have a feeling like it'll be the Codex, and we'll get to have the Firestrike turret and the drop box thing. I can't remember what that's called. Those two, the ATV, the Invader ATV, I think those three things will be up for order with the Codex. And then we're going to see the Tech Marine and that new speeder. I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting. I think though at least those two, and if there is another one, that other third thing will go up for pre-order like the following week or whatever. And then that will be it for Space Marines, and hopefully for a while. Because yeah, like I said, I have a lot I need to get caught up on painting anyway, and then I'm going to be pretty unavailable anyway to play, and even get that stuff that's coming out painted. The time on that's going to start slipping away as well, and yeah, with not being able to play for a year and a half and being able to sporadically work on getting my stuff painted, I'm worried about more stuff coming out and just falling more and more behind. So, yeah, we will see. But other than that, honestly, I really liked the. Let me scroll up here. I keep wanting to call it a Deathmark, the Hexmark. I like this. I really like the aesthetic and the look of all the new Necron stuff in general. But anyway, really like this guy. The Orlok gang is really awesome, just from the idea of potential conversions. I like that. And then, of course, the Lion. So I think in order, I have to go no new Space Marine stuff, the Lion, Hexmark, and then the Orlok gang. So, alright, well, hopefully found that helpful, interesting, whatever you found that. And again, sorry for the interruption again. It's just part of my, I guess, setup currently. It just can't be avoided. And if you haven't already, please check out the rest of the channel. I would greatly appreciate if you subscribed. Check out the rest of the videos I got below. Check out the Facebook page, and you can also find me on Instagram. All that will be in the description below. And until next time.